Thanks, Dan. When it comes to vaping, there are so many misconceptions on what really happens to our bodies when we vape. It can be especially confusing for our kids. We have Dr. Dixie Harris with Intermountain Healthcare to talk about the tips so that we can best talk to our teens about e-cigarettes and vaping. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
This is such an important topic, I think, to talk about with our kids, but even with each other. So talk to us about the background, kind of the information we need to make sure we know before we go into a conversation with those children.
So first off, the Surgeon General has now called it an epidemic. So the whole e-cigarettes and vaping is now so rampant, it's considered an epidemic. So that's number one, is 20 to 28% of the kids are doing it. And it's a different demographic that's doing it. Kids that normally are honor roll kids, kids who are even in sports, are actually vaping and getting addicted to nicotine.
It's so scary. So I think the first question is, this is nicotine, and this is just as bad as smoking. So talk to us about that and kind of the reality of it all.
You know, what a lot of people think is, oh, there's no nicotine in it because it doesn't smell. Remember, we used to have a lot of flavored materials in the vaping, but now even kids can still get flavored e-cigarettes, even though supposedly it's been banned, but it's still available and the kids are getting it. So they don't smell. Nobody, you know, if you're a parent looking for a child that's doing this, number one, you can't smell it. You have to just be astute and just ask your child, you know, do any of your friends vape? You know, tell me what's happening at school. What are the kids saying about it? And many of the kids think, oh, it's just water vapor. There's nothing harmful in it.
But that's not the case,
that's
right?
Not the case.
So talk to us about the reality of vaping.
So, you know, really, if we're going to talk e-cigarettes, vaping nicotine is not good for the developing brain, and our brains still develop up to age 25. So we're really targeting the education. We've done great with smoking, right? And the children all know, the kids and teenagers, young adults all know the dangers of smoking. First off, nicotine has harmful effects on the brain. It's one of the most addictive substances there is. You know, addictive as similar to cocaine. It's very addictive. And then it does changes in the brain while it's trying to develop, so it can affect concentration, it can affect memory. And then there's other long-term effects of nicotine. It can put you at risk for cancers. And then the other thing that's not really talked about much, but it's pretty graphic, is the dangers of if the pen explodes. And we've seen cases where it's exploded and burned the face. Oh,
so scary.
So
would you suggest to parents just to talk about it, be open about it, and ask direct questions? Because obviously we want to prevent all these problems from happening.
Right. Well, number one, this whole problem, in my view, has kind of snuck up on us. And it really became rampant in the last couple of years. It used to be 5% of kids vaped, and now it's like 25%. So it's something that's really kind of grown. My daughter, who's in high school, calls the bathroom stalls the jewel room.
Oh, golly.
So it's being aware that kids came into this innocently, not trying to be rebellious or bad, but maybe trying to be cool. It looks very cool. If you see the devices, they're very sleek, and really, in truth, very much designed for this generation. And so I think we have to be very aware that these kids have kind of gotten into this inadvertently, not really intentionally, and now we have to pull them back out of this whole addiction.
Okay, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
Such an important topic for all of us to know about and make sure that our children are aware of the reality of what vaping is all about. If you want to learn more information, please go to our website, abc4.com. While you're there, we'll connect you with Intermountain Healthcare, and we'll be right back.